So it's running. Your hair. You said my hair looks like a bird.
Yeah, your hair looks like that bird that we saw in the in Piet Hein Eek in that box. I love it.
Hi, Holly. Hi. I'm going to introduce you like super short.
Okay.
To me.
Hi, Internet. Hi, Internet.
So you're one of the biggest stars or personalities on social media.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
You are.
Been doing it for 14 years.
You're American, but you live in Europe now, and so you write in English mainly, but you do blogging, you do podcasting, you do Instagramming, you do everything. Is that sort of like a good introduction to someone who doesn't know who Holly Becker is? I forgot to say your name. Your name is Holly Becker, Mrs. Becker.
Yeah, Mrs. Becker. Frau Becker, bitte. Actually, I've been doing this for 14 years, this being journalism, focused on design interiors. I'm a stylist, trained and educated in design and marketing. And yeah, if anyone doesn't know me, I actually have a blog called Decorate, and I write books, and I have a magazine now called Holly, and a podcast called Hello Holly.
And I was there.
You were, and you're on my show in 3 weeks. Yeah. I can't wait.
So what kind of dessert are we having now?
Well, actually, this is my first dessert, a glass of Pinot Grigio.
Yeah, we're going to move on to wine later.
Yeah, and this is some type of like Dutch confection that looks really lovely, and it's chocolate. So I'm all in if it's chocolate.
I'm so happy you brought some good dessert to this talk.
Yeah.
If you would be a dessert person, what kind of...
If I would be a dessert, I would be chocolate.
If you were a dessert, would you be chocolate? No, what kind of desserts do you like?
Smooth and rich. Actually, I like vanilla ice cream. That's one of my favorite things in the world because you can do anything with it. You can put things on it, add to it. You can design it, basically. I really like it because it's like a good foundation. Yeah.
There's a while ago, some designers made like ice cream pieces. I know the Swedish design group Front made ice cream design things. Okay. Would you ever do design and ice cream?
No, probably not. I'm really focused on interiors and products for interiors, and I love everything that just supports home and living and making people happier at home. Food is part of that, but I'm not an expert at that. This is just not my thing. Yeah, I leave that to people that know what they're doing.
So speaking about limits, you said that you don't do food. Is there anything else you sort of like not having your hemisphere?
Anything else that I would like to do?
No, you don't do. I mean, I don't do fashion, for instance. I rarely talk about fashion.
Let's talk about fashion. Fashion is so hard. I had a fashion stylist that actually came to my house to work with me to shoot for my magazine, and she helped me to kind of understand how to dress my body because I really didn't know how. And she showed me like all these different things that you can do, and it was so fascinating that I learned this at a later time in my life. You know, most girls learning this in their 20s, and fashion was just never on my radar.
Well, you look so good, Holly.
Oh, thank you. That's nice. Yeah, the fashion stylist, she did it. Otherwise, I was always wearing black, and I was scared to kind of show my personality through my clothes. And she helped me, kind of like how I help people show their personality through their homes. She helped me show my personality more through the patterns and colors that I wear. It kind of opened me up to this whole world.
Oh, you're touching on an interesting subject. You're talking about missions, basically. Yeah. Do you have a mission with everything you do?
No, it's all intuition. Yeah, everything in my life is driven by gut feeling, intuition, feeling that I have with my emotional connections to things. I don't care if it's good or interesting or whatever to other people, it has to register with me, always. Or it's not on my radar, I don't like it, not interesting, yeah.
We are in Eindhoven, and we're here for Dutch Design Week, and we're going to talk about that later, but I really want to focus, before you start drinking that Pinot Grigio more.
Oh, it's calling, I hear it, yeah. Holly!
Now, before we start doing that, I need to talk to you about the future of a person. What's the future for a person like you? I mean, you've done so many things, Holly. I mean, you've done your own collection for some brands. You're doing your podcast, as I mentioned already. You're doing your own magazine with your own name on it. So how do you evolve from this? What's the next leg, basically?
I often think of having a little design coffee shop on the beach in south of France, and just calling it a day, and just like relaxing. Or actually, one business model that I had was, it's been done before, but to have something in the countryside that I can go out to on the weekends and just work there on the weekends and have like a flower shop and a design shop and serve coffee and have workshops and have the children playing out in the yard and have it really relaxed and chill, because I feel like I need that balance from all the energy and the city stuff that I'm involved in to be in the country. I need that nature connection. So anything that I do in the future, I really wanted to involve something that has to do with like being relaxed in the farm. Yeah, and that goes back to my roots because my mother's family is all farmers and my mother grew up on a 100-acre farm, so it's in my blood.
Do you think that's a sign of the times? Yes. I'm a trend hunter, so therefore I'm trying to see this is in a connection with something else.
Yeah.
Do you see that sort of like, are other people in social media driving that sort of like thing as well?
I don't know yet. It's hard to tell because still the focus in interiors is always interiors and, you know, making your house look beautiful and all that. But I have noticed the shift of people getting, like in Germany, getting more of these garden houses, Schrebergarten, and having this like temporary little structure that you have on the weekend and you're gardening and planting. But I think like for you and me, and something that you said that was really interesting about this is you said that you think mental health is kind of a theme in design right now, and I think it goes hand in hand with our need to be in the country, because being around nature and stillness, it contributes to good emotional health.
Yes, so that's one of my main themes for next year, mental health. So don't tell anyone, but that's one of my main trend fields for next year.
Don't tell anyone, just put it on YouTube.
No, don't tell anyone. Another thing, I had a train of thought there. I lost it already. Okay, so skip that. I'll come back to that. Let's talk about Eindhoven, because we're now in the Netherlands and we're visiting the Design Week here in Eindhoven, which is like a small town in the middle of nowhere. And how do you appreciate it here?
Well, like what you said, I'm going to steal your quote. You love it because it's so non-commercial. And that's what I love about it too. Like, I didn't realize that's what I liked until I talked to you and you said that. And I thought, yes, that's what makes us different from Milan or Paris or whatever. It's student work, it's young design. It's like, how would you create things if you were thinking more about the future and of products and how they should really serve people and less about the economy of it? How would it look? And Eindhoven is how it would look. And that's what's so fascinating. What do you think? I mean, same thing or?
Yeah, absolutely. I would absolutely say that this is one of the most important design weeks of Europe, absolutely, because of what you said. The commercial aspect is not playing a factor at all, so it's not important. So you do something that stands out, that's interesting, that tells a story, that's important for the future, blah, 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 whatever. But if it's sellable, if it's commercial, it's unimportant because it has a different aspect. But then again, did you find any favorites? I also asked you in the taxi from one of the stops we had, and it's like, usually when I travel with my colleagues or whatever, I force them to say, like, when we have wine, I force them to say, like, what's your 3 favorite things of the day? So have you seen any favorites of today yet?
Yeah, there's many. Like at the Student Academy, I really like this one woman, I don't remember her name, but she did this study of religion mixed with fantasy films and what the Bible would look like if it was a fantasy film, and it was really crazy to watch. And
that affected you a lot, because
it affected me a lot. It was very emotional, and for me, it was like, wow, it made me think a lot about life. And then another design that I liked was a sort of flip side was this Polish designer. What's her name? With has the plastic, and she's printing plastic.
Oh, UAU or something like UNU project.
The Polish designer. I like that because you could just do whatever you wanted with it. You could build vases how you wanted them to look. You can print them at home. And it was also she recycled plastic in a new way, which I found really interesting. So that was nice, but also just going to Piet Heineke, because I always find like every year that I'm there, this man is just so inventive and creative, and his brain never stops working. And that we got to talk to him a few times today, you and I I respect him so much because, I mean, he teaches people kind of how to make vintage and new and recycled look cool. And we need to see that more. We need to see more of like how grandma's stuff can look really good if you mix it with something you made. We need that. Younger people need to see that as well, instead of just throwing it in the charity shop, you know? Yeah.
I have 2 more things for you. How's our timing? Timing is 9 minutes now, so we have about 3-4 minutes to go, and then we're shutting this off. This is so Well, you can have a tip if you want to.
Okay. Oh, okay. I think
there's an announcement.
Okay.
No, we can talk anyway. So I want to ask you. Now I forgot it again. What things will you do to make money 2020?
Well, I think the way you can make money in 2020 is really to just focus more on what. Yeah, I think what really matters is just to focus on what you want to do and not think about the money. Focus on what your passion is, because the money will follow the passion. It always does. It always does. It's just how it is.
And speaking about creativity then, what things will you do to find a new field? I mean, this year, 2019, was the year that you started doing your own products. So what's coming after that?
Hopefully products for the home, for living room, for children's room, for kitchen. Yeah, just developing products and just, looking into the future. I mean, my podcast is really a big focus right now. I love doing the Hello Holly podcast. It's really interesting. I like because I can curate it, so I can pick everyone that comes to me. And for me, this is really special because, thank you. I got an applause for that. Thank you very much. I'm glad you're all listening to the Hello Holly podcast. That's funny. Yeah, and I like that because I think there are so many people that need to be heard on a podcast, so many good stories, and it's from all different levels of people in design, and that's what I love, and that's my focus right now, my magazine, my podcast, and maybe some products. Yeah.
Are you? But are you also going to have time to be at home in Hanover?
Always, yeah. My son is number one, so I'm always available. I'm a mom, number one job, best job in the world, and that's who I am first, a mom, and I love it.
I'm going to ask you the same question you asked me on the podcast, because you asked me something that was extremely tricky. You asked me, what makes a home a home?
Oh, yeah.
That's super difficult. And do you think about that a lot? First question is, do you think about it a lot? And then you're going to have to answer, what makes a home a home?
Yeah.
So first, what do you think about it a lot?
Yeah. What makes a house a home to me is feeling safe and secure and loved, and also being able to have a place outside, a place of refuge. So the home for me needs to function as a place of refuge. If it doesn't function as that safety zone, it doesn't function, it's just chaos and crazy, then to me it's not a home. So for me it's the people that live there, how they're interacting, and also how things are organized, how easy it is to find your keys, what it looks like. It all goes hand in hand. Yeah. It's not like one thing to that question. It's really a composition of everything. Yeah.
What do you learn from having a podcast?
From having what?
A podcast. What do you learn from it?
I learn from people like you. I learn things that I don't necessarily have an expertise in, or things that I do understand, or I thought I had an expertise in. I realize I really don't, because you meet someone new and they teach you something. And I love having a podcast because I'm creative, but I'm curious, and I never feel in life that I'm finished. I always feel like I'm just beginning in so many things. So I'm interested in learning from other people, and that curiosity fuels all of this. Yeah. Yeah, because I love people like you. Yeah.
Oh, well, we love you back, Holly. Well, I think we're going to have to round it up because they're going to be like applauses and wine and like events and parties.
Internet.
So bye. Yay!
Thanks for, they're all happy. Okay.
Bye.